Stop everything you're doing right now, because what I'm about to share with you could directly impact your Centrelink payments in the next 72 hours. This is not a drill, and if you're an Australian pensioner, you absolutely cannot afford to miss this critical announcement. The clock is ticking, and your financial future may depend on what you do in the next 3 days. Welcome back to Pension Path, your trusted source for all things related to Australian pensions and Centrelink benefits. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because we bring you the most up-to-date information that affects your pension payments, entitlements, and financial well-being. Don't miss out on critical updates that could mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars in your pocket. Now, let's get straight into this urgent 72-hour alert that every Australian pensioner needs to know about. Centrelink has just made a major announcement that will affect thousands of pensioners across the country, and time is of the essence. This isn't just another routine update. This is something that requires your immediate attention and potentially immediate action. So what exactly is this announcement? Centrelink has issued a critical deadline for pensioners to update their personal information and verify their current circumstances. This verification process is part of a nationwide compliance review, and if you don't respond within the 72-hour window, you could face suspension or even cancellation of your pension payments. Yes, you heard that right. Your payments could stop completely if you don't take action. The reason behind this urgent push is that Centrelink is cracking down on outdated information in their system. They've identified thousands of accounts where personal details, living arrangements, income sources, or relationship status may have changed but haven't been properly updated. This could be something as simple as a change of address that you forgot to report, or something more significant like a change in your living situation or income. Here's what you need to understand. Centrelink takes compliance very seriously, and they have the legal authority to suspend payments if they suspect any discrepancies or if they can't verify your current eligibility. Even if you think everything is up to date, it's crucial that you check your myGov account and respond to any correspondence from Centrelink immediately. Let me break down exactly what you need to do in these next 72 hours. First, log into your myGov account right away. If you haven't used it in a while, or if you've forgotten your password, now is the time to sort that out. Once you're logged in, check your Centrelink inbox for any messages or requests for information. Centrelink may have sent you a specific form to complete or questions to answer about your current situation. Second, verify all your personal details are correct and up to date. This includes your residential address, contact phone number, email address, and banking details. Make sure your marital status is accurate, especially if you've recently separated, divorced, or entered into a new relationship. These changes can significantly affect your pension entitlements, and failing to report them is considered a serious breach of your obligations. Third, review your income and assets declarations. Have you started receiving any new income, even if it's just a small amount from part-time work or investments? Have you sold property, received an inheritance, or made any significant purchases? All of these need to be reported to Centrelink. Remember, they have data matching systems that cross-reference information from the Australian Taxation Office, banks, and other government agencies, so they will find out about unreported changes eventually. Fourth, if you're living with someone or have had changes to your living arrangements, make sure this is accurately reflected in your Centrelink records. If you've moved in with family, started sharing accommodation, or have someone move in with you, this needs to be reported as it can affect your payment rates. Now, you might be wondering what happens if you miss this 72-hour deadline. The consequences can be severe. Centrelink can immediately suspend your payments while they investigate any discrepancies. This means you could suddenly find yourself without your regular pension income, which many of you rely on for daily living expenses. In more serious cases, if they determine you've been receiving payments you weren't entitled to, you could face a debt that needs to be repaid, and in extreme cases, there could even be legal consequences. But here's the good news. If you act now and respond promptly to any Centrelink requests, you can avoid all of these problems. The vast majority of pensioners who keep their information up to date and respond to Centrelink communications have absolutely nothing to worry about. This is simply about ensuring that everyone receiving a pension is genuinely entitled to it and receiving the correct amount. Let me also address some common concerns and questions that many pensioners have during these compliance reviews. Some of you might be worried that updating your information could lead to a reduction in your payments. While it's true that changes in your circumstances can affect your payment rate, it's far better to report changes honestly than to face the consequences of non-disclosure. Centrelink has penalties for people who fail to report changes, including significant debts and potential prosecution. Another question I often hear is whether you need to report small or temporary changes. The answer is yes. Even temporary income or short-term changes in living arrangements should be reported. It's always better to over-report than to under-report. Centrelink can always tell you if something doesn't affect your payments, but they need to know about it first. For those of you who find technology challenging or who struggle with the myGov system, don't panic. You have options. You can call Centrelink directly on their pension hotline, or you can visit a Service Australia Centre in person. I know wait times can be long, but given the 72-hour urgency of this situation, it's worth the effort. You can also ask a trusted family member or friend to help you navigate the online system. It's also worth mentioning that there are free services available to help pensioners with Centrelink matters. Financial counselors, community legal centers, and seniors advocacy groups can provide assistance if you're unsure about what information you need to provide or how to respond to Centrelink's requests. Now, let's talk about what specific information Centrelink is most likely asking for in this compliance review. They're particularly focused on relationship status, living arrangements, and income sources. These are the three areas where they've identified the most discrepancies. If you're single and living alone, make sure your records reflect this accurately. If you're in a relationship, whether married or in a de facto partnership, this must be declared because it significantly affects your pension entitlements. Centrelink's definition of a relationship is quite broad, so even if you don't consider yourself in a traditional relationship, if you're living with someone and sharing expenses or providing mutual support, this might be considered a relationship for Centrelink purposes. When it comes to income, remember that Centrelink wants to know about all types of income, not just employment. This includes rental income, dividends from shares, interest from savings accounts, foreign pensions, and any other regular payments you receive. Even if these amounts are small, they need to be declared. Assets are another crucial area. If you've bought or sold property, vehicles, or other significant assets, this affects your asset test and could change your pension rate. The asset test thresholds are quite specific, and even small changes in your total assets can push you into a different payment bracket. I also want to emphasize the importance of keeping records of your communications with Centrelink. If you respond to their requests, make sure you keep copies of everything you submit. Take screenshots of online submissions, keep receipts if you mail documents, and make notes of phone conversations, including the date, time, and name of the person you spoke with. These records can be invaluable if there are any disputes or issues later. For those of you who are currently overseas or planning to travel, this 72-hour alert is especially important. If you're outside Australia and you receive a request from Centrelink, you still need to respond within the time frame. Being overseas doesn't excuse you from your reporting obligations. and there are specific rules about how long you can be overseas while still receiving your pension. Let me also address the broader context of why Centrelink is conducting these reviews now. The government is under increasing pressure to ensure that welfare payments are going to the right people and that there's no fraud or overpayment in the system. While the vast majority of pensioners are completely honest and do the right thing, these compliance reviews are designed to catch the small percentage who might be gaming the system. Unfortunately, this means everyone gets caught up in these checks, but it's part of ensuring the long-term sustainability of the pension system. It's important to understand that Centrelink has sophisticated data matching capabilities. They can access information from banks, the tax office, Medicare, and various other government agencies. They can see property transactions, vehicle registrations, overseas travel records, and much more. So even if you think a change in your circumstances might go unnoticed, it almost certainly won't. The technology they use is constantly improving, and they're getting better at identifying discrepancies. If you discover that you've been receiving incorrect payments, perhaps because you forgot to report a change in circumstances, the best thing you can do is contact Centrelink immediately and explain the situation. They're generally more lenient with people who voluntarily disclose issues compared to those who are caught through compliance checks. You may still have to repay any overpayments, but the penalties are usually less severe for voluntary disclosure. For those of you who are worried about potential debts, Centrelink does offer payment arrangements if you owe them money. They understand that many pensioners live on fixed incomes and can't afford to repay large sums immediately. They can set up manageable repayment plans, or in some cases, they might deduct small amounts from your ongoing pension payments until the debt is cleared. I want to stress again that this 72-hour window is not something to take lightly. While Centrelink does send out various notifications and reviews throughout the year, when they set a specific deadline, they mean it. Missing this deadline could genuinely result in your payments being suspended, and it can take weeks or even months to get them reinstated, even if you eventually prove you are entitled to them all along. So here's my advice. Even if you're absolutely certain that all your information is correct and up to date, log into your myGov account today and double-check everything. Look at your personal details, your payment summary, your declared income and assets, and your living arrangements. Make sure it all reflects your current situation accurately. If you spot anything that's not quite right, update it immediately. If you receive any correspondence from Centrelink, whether it's through myGov, by letter, or by phone, respond to it as quickly as possible. Don't put it off thinking you'll deal with it tomorrow, because before you know it, the deadline will have passed. Treat any communication from Centrelink as urgent and act on it straight away. Remember, your pension is your lifeline. For most Australian pensioners, it's your primary or only source of income. You can't afford to have it suspended or cancelled because of an administrative issue that could have been easily resolved by responding to a simple request for information. The few minutes it takes to check your myGov account and update your details could save you weeks or months of financial stress and hardship. This is exactly why channels like Pension Path AUS exist. We're here to keep you informed about critical changes, deadlines, and announcements that affect your pension and financial security. If you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss an important update. Share this video with other pensioners you know, whether they're family members, friends, or neighbors. Everyone in the Australian pension community needs to know about this 72-hour alert. Make sure you also turn on notifications for our channel so you're alerted immediately when we post new content. We're constantly monitoring Centrelink announcements, policy changes, and payment updates to bring you the most timely and relevant information. Your financial well-being is our priority, and we're committed to helping you navigate the sometimes complex world of Australian pensions and Centrelink benefits. Thank you so much for watching today, and please take action on this 72-hour alert immediately. Don't wait, don't procrastinate, and don't assume it doesn't apply to you. Check your myGov account, verify your details, and respond to any requests from Centrelink right away. Subscribe to Pension Path AUS for more critical updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay informed, stay protected, and take care of your financial future.